Ever download a free app? I mean, of course you have. But have you ever stopped to think about what you're really paying with? It's probably not money, right? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden fee of all that free tech and explore what you're actually trading for those super convenient services. Privacy should not be a luxury. Now, this is a mission statement that really hits home, and it's pretty much the core idea we're diving into. This comes from a group that's really fighting to make data protection a basic right for everyone, not just some premium feature you have to pay for. So, what does that actually look like in practice? So, let's just get right into it. Every single free service you use, whether it's for storing your photos, writing notes, or just connecting with friends, it's a transaction. There's always a price. So if you're not paying with your wallet, what's the currency? Especially now in the age of AI, the answer to that question is, well, it's a pretty big deal. And here it is. The hidden fee, the real currency of the online world is your data. Yep, everything from your photos and private messages to what you search for online, all of it is incredibly, incredibly valuable. You see, this is really the heart of the matter. The AI systems that power so many of these amazing free services, well, they need just massive amounts of data to learn and get better. They are insatiably hungry for it. And where does all that data come from? You guessed it. It comes from us, the users. This right here breaks down the bargain we're all making, probably without even thinking about it. On one side, you get free cloud storage, which is awesome. But what are you paying with? Your personal data. You get these easy-to-use creative tools, but in return, you're handing over your privacy. You get to connect with people all over the world, but you're leaving behind a huge digital footprint. It's this constant trade-off. So, is anyone trying to tip the scales back in our favor? You know, it's one thing to talk about the problem, but it's a whole other thing to actually get your hands dirty and build a solution. And that brings us to the Information Systems and Security Lab, or as they call it, the ISSLab. These folks are based at Eskişehir Osman Gazi University, and the ISSLab is a research group that's totally dedicated to turning the tide on data privacy. And they're not just writing papers about it, they're actually building things. And their whole mission is basically to bridge this huge gap between all that super complex tech and, well, everyday people. They're focused on creating tools for people who don't have a PhD in computer science, but still want and deserve to protect their privacy. In other words, they're building for you and me. So for their 2026 mission, they've set a really specific and powerful goal. It's not just about creating privacy tools, it's about making privacy simple, intuitive, and something that's accessible to literally everyone. I love this quote because it just nails their whole philosophy. You shouldn't need to be a coding genius or a security expert just to control your own information online. The tools to protect yourself should be just as easy to use as the apps that are collecting your data in the first place, right? And this all boils down to one key concept: minimal friction. What does that mean? It means that for any of their tools to be considered a success, they have to be ridiculously easy to use. I mean, think about it. No complicated setups, no confusing menus, just simple, effective privacy that works right out of the box. Okay, so how do they make sure that every single project they work on actually meets this super high standard? Well, they've laid out a really clear set of principles, kind of like their rules of engagement for anyone who wants to join them and start building. They've got 5 core principles. First, every project has to be user-centric, meaning it puts your privacy first above everything else. Second, it has to be feasible, something that can actually be built within a single semester. Third, and this is a big one, it must be user-friendly. Fourth, it's got to work across different platforms. And last but not least, it needs to be cost-efficient, which usually means cleverly using services you already have access to. So let's make this real with a perfect example. Imagine a note-taking app, but instead of saving to some company's server, it saves right to your own Google Drive or Dropbox. Now here's the magic trick. The app encrypts your notes before they ever leave your device, and you, and only you, hold the decryption key. So sure, Google is storing a file, but they have absolutely no idea what's inside it. It's so simple, but so powerful. And maybe the best part of all this is that the entire initiative is open and collaborative. This isn't some big corporation building a product they're going to sell to you later. Nope. It's a community of students, developers, and researchers all working together to build open source tools that will be available to everyone for free. Which, of course, brings us to the most exciting part. This isn't just something you have to watch from the sidelines. The ISSLab is putting out a call for people, for you, to get involved, to bring your own ideas to the table, and to help build this next generation of privacy-first tools. And they've made getting involved super straightforward. It's a simple 3-step process. First,
come up with an idea that fits their principles. Second, put together a quick 5-minute pitch. And third, just show up at their spring kickoff event to share it. That's it.
And don't feel like you need a perfect business plan or anything. Your 5-minute pitch just has to answer 3 basic questions. First, the goal. What problem are you trying to solve? Give your project a name. Second, the stack. What kind of tech will you use to build it? And third, the talent. What kinds of skills does your team need? See, it's all about the core idea. So, we'll leave you with this question to chew on. If you could build one tool, just one, to protect your own privacy online, what would it be? The ISSLab is proving that you don't have to be a giant tech company to make a real difference. Sometimes a good idea and a community to back it is all it takes. Thanks so much for tuning in.